I'm here to kind of lay out the program for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by holding a discussion circle. So I have some questions to ask you guys, and all of those who participated, I want you all to feel free to voice your opinion and, answer these questions and talk about how your experience today was. My only request is that before you speak, you say your name, because there are a lot of us in here. And then after that, so that's going to go on for about 20 to 30 minutes. And after that, we will have a 10-minute presentation on what hijab is in the Islamic tradition. And after that, we will have a question and answer session. We'll pass out note cards during the presentation, so you guys can write down any questions you have. And afterwards, we'll be answering them. Sound good? Great. I want you guys to be super interactive. I want you to get hyped. I want you to get excited. So just a little 1, 2, 3. I say orange, you say blue. Orange, blue, orange, blue, orange, blue. You guys hyped? Yeah. All right, let's do this. Okay. So I'm going to start off with a few questions. If people don't start talking, I'm going to start calling you out because I know all of you who participated. So my first question is, was wearing it all day uncomfortable? Did you even notice you had it on your head, or did you get warm or hot? Like, how did it feel, just physically speaking?
My name is Shawnice, and I was hot. And I had to walk from baby all the way to Graham, and I was like sweating, and I was
Yeah, for me, it kept on like falling to my face, and the pin started like unraveling. So I had a moment where I had to move to get a class. I had to go from the right back to trying to fix it back again, and had to barge from my class. So of course it felt hot too. Of course.
My name is Laura. Right under here, I'm like super itchy from like where I'm eating and chewing, and it's been rubbing all day, and I've just been like tugging at it all day.
Actually, I didn't have any problems. I thought it was really comfortable, and I hardly noticed because mine didn't slip at all or like shake, so I was actually really comfortable. It wasn't really too hot, I guess maybe because I didn't go too far from my classes.
Okay. Okay, over here first, then we'll come back around.
My name is Jessica. I was going to say mine was a mixture of all of those. When I first put it on, it was hot, and then after I just didn't notice it. And when I got to work, it got itchy, and then I didn't notice it. And then when I put it on now and drink this hot tea, I got really, really
My name's Anna. I spent most of the day in my apartment, so I was kind of lounging around, so I didn't get hot by it, and I actually I stopped noticing it after a while, and one of my friends came over to work on the project together, and when I opened the door, he was like, "Whoa!" And I was like, "Oh, that's right."
I'm Andrea. For me, I had one of the materials that was a lot lighter, and so the wind blew through it and it felt really comfortable. It just kept falling off on me, so I was tying it and pinning it, I'm hoping this is working out for me. So it was just kind of weird, but it was kind of comfortable to wear, just kind of annoying to kind of try to fix.
My name's Hannah, and when I got home at one point, I had to take it off, then I started having phantom hijab, where I felt like it was on. I don't know if that ever happened.
Anyone else? All right. So next up was, did people look at you differently? Your classmates, your teachers, people walking around campus? All right.
My name is Jessica again. The people at my job definitely kind of.
Where do you work, may I ask?
I work at an insurance company, and they've seen me every day for the past 2 years. I've never worn it, and so one person asked me if I had a bad hair day. The other person asked me if I had converted religion, and everybody else just kind of avoided saying hi to me and just kept looking at me.
You're next.
Yes. My name is Leonie. So today I noticed that while I was in hijab, these people that usually have these really enthusiastic reactions to me when they see me, today they could walk right by me and they didn't even notice it was me. They're usually like, Leonie, yeah! And today it was like, who is that person? Yeah, it was interesting.
In the back? Yeah.
So I was talking to a couple of supervisors at work, like after hours and everything, just real quick, but they didn't mention it at all, and so I'm like, do they recognize me? Do they realize that it's me? So that was just awkward.
I'm Miranda. I have a really small French class, and I felt like everyone that looked at me was like, is that new? Has she been wearing that before? And nobody mentioned it all day. And I had a friend who I had told I was doing it, and she didn't mention it at all, but I could tell that she was looking at it like, okay.
Gotcha. You're okay?
Yeah, I'm Jackie. I had I guess 2 completely different experiences because I work for MCDA, so everyone's just like, oh my god, that's so cool, I wish I had done that, like, oh my god, tell me more. And then in class and walking around, everyone's just not just ignoring me, blatantly ignoring me.
Okay, you were next, and then back.
I had a Japanese class in the morning, and actually no one seemed to notice. And they didn't act any different. They didn't notice, so that was kind of cool. Except my professor, who was very confused and started asking me questions in Japanese. But and then my Arabic teacher was pleasantly surprised, and he thought it was really interesting that we were all doing this. So he was kind of interested to see how that went. So I've got filming tomorrow. But everyone else, for the most part, was pretty understanding. They just like some people said, no one recognized you. So I was able to sneak up on all my friends, just be like, hey guys, and it was really great.
So we're going to go in the back here. And
hi, my name's Shirley. I've been in campus all day. And some people mentioned it, did you convert? What's going on with your hair? Or lack thereof? But for the most part, what shocked me was how people didn't, not even mention it, but as soon as I put it on, I don't know how much of it was just my perception of myself or other people's, but I kind of disappeared. A lot of people, if they looked at me, they didn't look away, and if I had gotten flirty glances before, it was just no, not at all. It was interesting for the first time in my life to feel like I was not in appearance, my sexuality wasn't at all involved in my personality. So it was really interesting to be able to not have to, and it's weird how something so small can make such a significant difference.
Okay, my name is Shanice again, and I had people ask me, are you Muslim now? And I was like, no, I'm just wearing a hijab. And then my roommate is Rama, she's over there, and she came back from Tampa, right? And then her auntie was there, so she was also wearing a hijab, so she looked at me kind of funny. And then Rama was just like, oh no, she was asking, why are you wearing a hijab? Because usually it's uncomfortable, so why would anyone just want to wear one? So she explained what happened. And then I had a friend who's Arabic, so he just asked me, why are you wearing a hijab? And I was like, I have to wear it today. And he was like, oh, okay, and then sent me.
Gotcha.
Hi, I'm Dania. I didn't really notice anything different in my day-to-day activities. I walked to Chipotle and I even had a couple of guys honk at me in their cars. So it was really funny. So, yeah.
I was gonna say I also have an Arabic friend, and he said that he thought I looked really nice, and he said I looked like a rich girl from Dubai.
Okay, cool. So, well, I guess you guys kind of already covered this a little bit in answering the previous one, was people treated you differently because you were wearing it. Okay, so we're going to go from there and then from the rest.
I'm Anna again, and like I said, the only time I could get my hijab was after my classes ended, once I had to go back to my apartment. So I didn't have too much interaction, but definitely I noticed people being careful with me, or nicer than they usually would be. I ended up going and buying a snack at the pot or something like that. And when she was ringing up, she's like, okay, have a great day. And then when I was getting onto the RTS, usually I just get on the bus, but this time he was like, oh, hang on, and he had the bus kneel, you know? And I was looking for my Gator 1, and I was like, oh, sorry. He's like, it's fine. I don't know, it was weird, you know? And then of course, some people were just kind of looking at me. then later I like actually with my friend and then her, who like we're friends outside of this, and like I saw her coming out, I was like, hey, and she was like, hi. Whoa! Because I think you know, I mentioned it earlier, like my hair is kind of like a big part of an identifier for me because it's like very big and curly. So it definitely like you know, some people are saying like no one recognized them really. So I feel like
I had a really cool experience today with it. I was off campus a little bit and I went to Ward's, which is a food store, for those of you who don't know. And on 2 separate occasions while I was around Ward's, basically, 2 different people, 2 different genders and ethnicities said to me, have a blessed day. And I was so happy to hear this because I consider myself to be an extremely spiritual and religious person. And I was thinking, wow, finally something is symbolizing that I'm really connected with God and somebody's recognizing that even though they're of a different religion or assuming they were. So I was so happy for most of the day just because I got those 2 comments and I'm really inspired by that.
Very cool.
So I was walking to my class almost immediately after I got the hijab and started walking with it. And I saw a woman walking towards me, and she was wearing a hijab also, and she smiled at me, said hi, waved, and I was like, oh hi, like it was such a nice greeting. I was like, she probably wouldn't have done that if I wasn't wearing it. It made me feel a lot more comfortable about wearing it throughout the day.
For me, I got my hijab in Turlington and then I went straight to English class. And the first person who saw me was my English teacher, and she just goes, wow. But I think people treated me a lot nicer, but also kind of in the careful way, because like a girl who sits in like the chair behind me, she like never comes up to me, but she came and sat like right next to me. And then like I had other people who were wearing the hijab. I went to Walmart, and they just kind of gave me like a nod and smiled at me, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And I guess the only like strange question I got, people kept asking me where I was from.
Anyone else? Okay. Oh.
Yeah, I felt, I'm Leonie again. So, I felt like people treated me almost like more maturely, like, I guess because I have such a baby face, like, from day to day, and then if I go to the Wrights or Broward Dining or wherever to eat, like, some people will call me babe or sweetie or honey, or like, I always get some comment like that, but today it was mostly just like, you know, please and thank yous, like, really polite, really cordial kind of interactions with people.
I don't think people really treated me that much differently, but I feel like they were a little more respectful. Like they didn't, I don't know. But I don't know if that was like my own perception.
All right, well that's actually a perfect lead into our next question, which is, did it make you feel differently, like in regards to your own perspective of yourself and how you portrayed yourself?
I felt like more, I don't know, like sanctuary, you know, like,
You know, I don't know how to really describe it. I just felt really like noble and like, I don't know, like, I don't know the word to describe it, but to where like,
Garden?
no, like your body's a temple type thing. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I felt.
All right, next.
I felt a little more self-conscious just because like I felt like I was representing someone, you know, and I wanted to like make that a positive representation.
My name's Shirley again. Before I put it on, and I never put up my hair. Like I'm having a lot of pain just from keeping my hair banded up for all day. And when I woke up this morning, I had like this little freak out moment because I'm like, I put my hair back and I'm like, this is what I look like with my hair not in my face. And I realized how much of my personality and how much focus I put on having hair visible to everyone, and I was afraid that I would feel significantly insecure putting it on because then I wouldn't have anything guarding me, which is what I do with my hair. But as soon as I put it on, I felt a lot freer because, as I said, I didn't feel like I didn't care about people's perceptions of me. All of me was basically put away, so I could just, I was in my own little world, and it was very empowering, which is the absolute, I have no offense, but I didn't think empowerment would be what I felt.
but I felt really powerful and really like strong, and I felt a lot of strength within myself.
Anyone else? Don't be shy.
Kind of going off what someone over there was saying, like my body is a temple, I kind of felt a lot more modest today, and so I was much more aware of what other females were wearing and how much they were covered up. And I was also walking past a girl when she was talking on the telephone really loudly and she started cursing and stuff, and I was just like, oh! I don't know, it changed my perspective about
My name is Megan. I also agree with some other people saying it's, as you mentioned the word empowering. I actually really enjoyed it. It made me feel more at ease during the day. Because I don't know, I just felt like I wasn't having to worry about like, what was going on with my, like hair. I didn't have to worry about like, people were kind of looking at you because it doesn't matter, because, whatever. And it just made me feel more just calm in a sense. That's strange, but yeah.
I just have one more thing. When I was at my job, because the head boss there, she's like super hardcore Christian, and she didn't say hi to me when I came in, which is really weird because she says hi every single time. And then whenever I was talking to my coworker, she was like, Rhonda's gonna hear you, and she was like not even talking to me. She was like barely whispering, and it made me feel really uncomfortable, like I was about to lose my job. I just wanted to mention that because I didn't even think about that, but that really did make me feel uncomfortable.
Anyone else? Okay. Kind of, you guys hinted on this a little bit earlier, but did you notice yourself behaving differently because you were wearing it? So did you say things differently? Did you act differently?
I'm going to go off of what she said. I felt responsible. Like I felt like I was definitely representing something, and that I wanted to do my best to behave in a way that makes me worthy of someone who's wearing something like this that represents something so important. So that's how I felt.
I feel like I didn't approach people as much as I normally would, kind of like the same reason why she said, like, because you're representing. So I kind of let the people come to me instead of going to them, which is not usually the case because I'm a resident assistant. So usually when I see my residents, I'm like, hey, hello, what's up, how's your day? But today it wasn't really like that. I feel like it was more like, if they want to ask questions, they can, but I'm not going to be as out there as I usually am.
Right, this is kind of a fun question. Did anyone go radically out of their way to do something different than you would normally do just because you were wearing it, because you wanted to see any sort of reaction you got from anyone? No one? Yeah.
I didn't do anything radically different, but I had to go to the mall. And I didn't have to go today, but I was like, well, let me go today. I don't know, I didn't really get treated differently over there. I mean, like, I did notice people would like look a little bit longer, but it wasn't anything too severe. And if anything, I'd look back until they looked away. But other than that, it wasn't. I don't know. I did feel different, but I didn't get anything like. I don't know. It just wasn't like. I don't know. Nothing different happened really.
Do you notice any sort of difference in how open the store clerks were to you, or how welcoming they were when you walked into the store?
Well, I went to like 3 stores, but I didn't really get the usual welcome to whatever, can I help you? I didn't get that. That I noticed, but other than that, when I went to go pay though, the lady was nice, but yeah. Other than that, the only thing that I noticed was no, hi, welcome to blah blah blah. That was it.
Okay, so we're going to go on to our second to last question. What was your most memorable moment of the day?
I'd probably say when I first put it on and she took my picture and I just saw myself, and it's just like kind of like, because like I feel it on, but like seeing myself with that and like what I'm representing and everything, I felt that was kind of like a spiritual moment, and I felt like more self-discipline too, like, and representing something. So. Yes.
My name is Shanice again. I had to mention how I got really defensive at one point. Like I got my hijab after my classes were ended. So like as soon as my class ended, I was tired, so I went to sleep. But like I was like, okay, well I'll just post it on Facebook, right? So I posted a picture of me and then I posted like the little calendar that y'all had. And then one person I went to school with, and she was like, I'm pretty sure it's Black History Month. And all of a sudden I got really defensive. And I was like, are you saying I can't celebrate anything else? Did you know it's this? I am African American, so obviously I know it's Black History Month. Like, I was like, I don't need a month to celebrate Black history, so I got really defensive. But other than that, I felt like I was a whole different person, so I was like, don't talk to me that way. But I got a lot of likes and stuff.
Yes. Yeah, kind of going along with what was already said. I think like a moment for me was like looking in the mirror. I was like, oh my gosh, I look so pretty right now. This is such a pretty job. I was like, oh my gosh, and like I took a picture of myself, I posted it on Facebook, and I got like an abnormal, like huge amount of likes. So then I was like, okay, you know. But, it was just kind of like cool.
Yeah. I think my memorable moment was kind of just seeing this purse. When I got out of the car, I was like looking at the pretty little thingy because I had a different one on it. It had the little stringy thingies on the back. I was like, oh, it's so cute. And I was just like,
Okay, here, and then move back, and then we'll come around.
One of the great moments of the day for me was I went to academic advising today, and the people were really nice. And I was leaving, one of the ladies who was working at the front, she goes, that is so beautiful on you. She goes, I have a few of my own. She goes, because her sister's been, different places in the Middle East. She goes, and that is beautiful. And she goes, I love, women that can wear it and like respect the, what the meaning is and can portray it in a proud manner. And I explained to her what was going on today, and she was, ecstatic about what this was. And so that was actually a really great moment.
I actually, before I even got to see myself, I walked up to someone that I know outside of even school. So this was the first time I had seen him in a school setting. So it was really shocking, and I'm like, Mark? And he's like, oh, hi. And he almost didn't recognize me because of it. And then afterwards, when I did look at myself, I'm like, I really liked how flowy it was. It makes me feel like when you wear the flowy dresses and you want to spin around. I kept watching it because mine just covered my shoulder, and I'm like, this is so cool. And it's funny because I actually have a visible tattoo on my shoulder, so I'm always really I like seeing that when I walk out. So it's funny to have all of it covered up and still feel like that's equally as pleasurable.
Yeah, I know sometimes I like to pretend mine's a cake from the back. You're next.
Yeah, at work, my friend Marla was like, you look super authentic, like you could just wear it on the daily and rock it out. And I was like, maybe I will. And my friend Andrew, who's a guy, is like, oh, I wish I could wear one.
Anyone else? Okay, any last comments, questions, concerns? Well, save the questions to the end. Comments, yes.
Yeah, I just want to share what I learned out of this experience, like the biggest thing I learned, or is that okay, or do you have
Yeah,
about that? Okay. So for me, it was so amazing to have a symbol of spirituality on, like I said earlier. And I'm a Hare Krishna devotee. You might have seen, I'm going to turn to everybody, you've seen that the marking right here on some Hare Krishna devotees in the plaza. It looks like a little a leaf of a tree, and then there are two lines that come up like this. And it's made from sacred clay. It's yellow. And that's a symbol of our faith. And I've been thinking lately, I've been saying, okay, I really want to wear that every day for a month because I want people to ask me about my faith because it's my identity. That's my life. So this was kind of like a precursor to that for me because people recognize that there was something maybe religious or spiritual about me. I felt so good, like I said earlier. I felt so good all day, and I feel like now I really have the courage and the drive to wear my tilak, that's what it's called, every day. So I'm so happy. So thank you for having me.
Awesome. Anyone else?
So I don't have any experiences with the hijab to share, but a couple like in the fall, the Sikh Student Association they had a turban day, and I participated for like half the day with that. And I can say like, first of all, I want to applaud all of you guys for your courage and for your involvement and for participating in this event. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned out of it. And I can say that like having participated in a similar type of event, like you leave, like you're walking and you feel a heightened sense of self-awareness. Like, are people staring at me? Are people like looking at me weirdly? Are people like judging me? What am I like? And I was walking and you get amazed at like people just like don't even like give you second glance. You're just like walking around and like and that really kind of like gives you a boost of self-esteem. But then also I wanted to comment on a lot of people like, when they said that people treated them more respectfully, people treated them as like more spiritually, and I can say like, I mean as a Muslim, that like from my reaction, like treating fellow Muslims that wear the hijab, that there's a sense of like respect and there's a sense of, the word is, I can't find the word for it, what's it called, respect and, not admiration, but like you just respect them because of their courage, because of their decision, and because of their piety. And it's just like, you treat them way more respectfully, and in that way they feel like better, like more empowered, and I think that's, where a lot of you, a lot of you guys felt. But that's all I had to like say, but it was really awesome like hearing your stories. It was really nice.
Those are all of the questions I had for you. I just want to reiterate what Samir said. I really want to thank you guys for participating in this today. Honestly, this was all very inspiring for me. And it's weird. I feel like I've become so desensitized to it because I've been wearing this for 7 years now. And so it was so nice to be able to hear all of this, to hear like, you know, how things are different, how things aren't different. So I really wanted to thank you guys for participating because you guys helped me.